Good morning, Oviedo High School. I'm Leeann Figueroa.
And I'm Ashlyn Register, and today's Wednesday, December 13th.
It's yet another chilly morning and a whole week of cold days with lows in the 40s and highs in the 60s. As a natural-born Floridian, I am definitely not used to this.
I'm not either, and I don't like it one bit. But I do have my jacket handy, so I'm all good. Coming up on today's show, we look back at Monday night's Holocaust event, One Day Starts Today, sponsored by JSU.
The Fine Arts Department gives us a peek behind the curtain of last weekend's Winter Showcase.
We stop by the Christmas tree sales tent.
And finally, we meet a member of the boys wrestling team who doesn't let a disability keep him out of the ring.
Let's get the show started with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Last spring, Club L'Chaim, the Jewish club at Lake Brantley High School, combated anti-Semitic vandalism by hosting a Holocaust survivor at their school.
The event was a huge success, which inspired the Jewish Student Union here at Oviedo to plan a similar event for our community with 2 survivors coming to speak.
And after 3 cancellations, the event finally took place on Monday, December 11th in the Gerald Casanova Performing Arts Center.
Although it's been over 70 years since the Holocaust happened, our reporter Blair explains why current events have sparked the need for the stories of survivors to live and breathe today.
Schools in our
It was a packed auditorium on Monday night as hundreds of students came to hear from 2 Holocaust survivors. For the many students that attended for extra credit, their experience on the night began in this line. But for Sammy Cooperberg, the experience began here.
I had a student who began to make anti-Semitic remarks, Holocaust jokes, Jewish jokes. It escalated to where I couldn't raise my hand in class because he would tell me to put my hand down, Jew. It affected my schoolwork. Then he started to get physical where he would hold my arm down in class and draw swastikas on me. A student in one of my classes who threw a water bottle at my head and told me to pick it up, Jew. And after I refused, he started punching and kicking my back and yelling anti-Semitic slurs. And that night I just didn't know what to do. I felt helpless.
For many teenagers, such an experience might lead to the desire to retaliate. But for Sammy, it inspired the opportunity to build a community.
So I realized that I couldn't be the only one that was feeling this way, alone, scared to admit that I was Jewish. And I wanted to create a place where we could sort of be safe and also show that we're not different. I started the Jewish Student Union here at Oviedo, and I began to plan this event.
The speaking engagement titled One Day Starts Today was co-sponsored by Stand With Us and Join Orlando and became a unique opportunity for students to hear firsthand the horrors of the Holocaust and the positive role they can play as citizens.
We figured if we could bring in survivors to share their story and to talk about tolerance and bullying, that could be a message that relates to everyone, and that most importantly, that when it comes to hate, that you should be an upstander and not a bystander.
I came mainly because we're one of the last few generations who can really hear the stories of the people who really had to live through these events. The fact that we are able to just experience their tragedies through the stories that they tell us is a really heartbreaking, but this thing to remember as well.
We want the community to understand that different marginalized groups are still facing ignorance and hatred and discrimination.
And the Oviedo campus is not immune to that hatred, as what happened to Sammy isn't isolated.
Someone put a swastika on my car last year. You know, there has certainly been a rise in the amount of this type of behavior, especially in the past year. I've been here for almost, I think, 8 years. This is my 8th year. And last year was the first year that I've had to deal with something like this.
The significance of One Day Starts Today is to serve as a reminder of where society has been and provoke thought on where it is going.
We have to know that these things have happened so that we can do everything in our power for, you know, that fear and hatred and ignorance for it to not reoccur.
I hope it educated them. I hope that if they were a bystander and they saw people being bullied for any type of religion, or even if they did make comments and didn't understand the significance of what they were saying, that maybe they now stand up against it and tell someone this isn't funny, this isn't something to joke about, or you can't say these things to people. And it just creates a more positive community in the school and spreads love instead of hate.
For WROR-TV, I'm Blair Brown.
JSU's teacher sponsor, Shana Haran, says that JSU hopes that Monday's event will become an annual occurrence. The club meets on a monthly basis. If you're interested in the club, please stop by room 8230 to learn more.
NJROTC just wrapped up their annual Toys for Tots collection drive. The Toys for Tots program collects lightly used toys and redistributes them to underprivileged kids within the community. After speaking to Commander Haverkamp, he estimates that almost 1,000 toys were collected. The Marines came to pick up the soon-to-be gifts yesterday.
FCA meets every Wednesday morning at 6:40. However, today was their last meeting of the semester. Meetings will start up again in January.
There will be a chemistry club meeting in Coach Weisenen's room today after school in Building 12, Room 17. Mr. Weisenen likes to refer to this group as the most reactive club on campus.
The prospect of exams coming up next week may be stressful, but performing arts students really felt that pressure last week when they were preparing for their annual winter showcase.
If you think you know what stress is, try writing an AP Lit journal while having 3 back-to-back-to-back shows.
And Leeann, you're a drum major. You had a significant role in those performances.
I suppose I did, and after 10 hours of rehearsal in just 1 week, I was very ready for the weekend to be over.
I'm sure you're not the only one.
That's true, but it's worth it in the end to put on such a wonderful display of talent. Every single year, the Fine Arts Department puts on a winter showcase featuring band, color guard, drama, and dance.
It is the coming together of all of the disciplines of the arts department into one great presentation that the audience loves.
This was the 21st year that we've done it. It gets the community involved because we usually sell out all 3 shows, so they get to come out and actually see these students performing. The teachers get to come out and watch some of their kids perform and kind of get a different perspective on what they do.
Showcase is very important to me and I think to the community. You know, a lot of times I think we sort of lose our sense of how important the arts are to just building a greater school and city, and so Showcase is our chance to show off the multifaceted student body at Oviedo, and that's really awesome.
It was a full house every night, meaning that almost 2,000 people attended 3 showcase performances.
There is a fast-pitch softball meeting tomorrow after school in Coach Quattry's room 8030. If you're interested in playing softball this spring, please come to the meeting. If you have any questions, please see Coach Quattry.
The Literary Lions Club is looking to start a magazine that features various creative works from OHS students. Let's go on over to Building 8 with our very own Paula Rodriguez as she interviews one of the sponsors. Paula?
Thanks, guys. All right, so we're here in Building 8 with Miss Miracolo. She's here to talk to us a little bit about the Arts Unleashed magazine. All right, Miss Miracolo, so first off, tell us a little bit about the Literary Lions Club and what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Literary Lions Club is a combination of a book club and a creative writing club. So students that come to this club bring books, and we do book clubs, and they share things. We've also done book drives in the past, and then we also edit each other's work and come up with other creative writing opportunities, and students actually work on books and things that they actually want to get published one day. So, and each year we come up with different projects that we want to do.
Okay, got it. So I hear that you guys are trying to start a new digital magazine. What exactly is a digital magazine, and what are you guys hoping to accomplish out of it?
Yeah, so a digital magazine is a platform for where students can submit their work, that any arts-based work, and all students at Oviedo High School and faculty and parents all have an opportunity to look at the magazine, and it's a publishable source, so you could say that you got published at the end, and that's something that's pretty cool.
Totally, that sounds awesome. So what exactly are you guys looking for from students who want to submit their work, and where should they submit it?
Yeah, so we're looking for submissions that are all arts-based, so it's an open submission. We don't have a theme, but submissions could include writing of any kind, poetry, lyrics, rap lyrics, videos, dance, photography, sculpture, 2D art, 3D sculpture, any of that kind of stuff. So it's pretty much any art thing that you would like to submit, and you submit it to either my email or Miss Millard's email, and we have flyers that we send out to all teachers, so they should have that information. But you can come to our classrooms during lunches or email us about any questions that you may have. But the submissions should be due by January 11th. And then the Literary Lions Club will go through the submissions, select the few that we would like for publication, and those students will be notified if that happens, and then they'll find out if they were published.
Alrighty, there you have it. Be sure to look out for the magazine that will be coming out in May and to submit any work if you have some. This is Paula Rodriguez. Now back to Ashlyn and Leeann.
OGLO is right around the corner on January 12th. Tickets are on sale during both lunches for $20. In January, they'll go up to $25. Oviedo students are able to bring up to 1 guest. Guests must have a form on file before purchasing a ticket for the event. Forms are available at the front office and are due January 9th, and you must be wearing a 2017-2018 OGLO shirt in order to be allowed into the event.
Every year for the past decade, a fresh batch of Christmas trees has gone on sale at the front of our school the day after Thanksgiving.
The trees are sold as a fundraiser for Oviedo Athletics. Athletes of all sports teams help sell these Christmas trees to the local community. Reporter Brooke Brennan checked out this annual experience of the holiday season.
A Christmas tree marks the beginning of the holiday season. The Oviedo High School's athletic program is utilizing local residents' festive spirit to fund for their future endeavors.
The Christmas tree sales at Oviedo being in our 11th year, starting this back in 2006. Ms. Laugie from the athletic department, myself here, I did a large construction project here back in 2006, and we came up with a way to bring the community and people who have graduated from Oviedo in the past, just as a way to come back and give back to the school.
Players contribute to tree sales by volunteering their time over the weekends.
A couple of my teammates and I from the varsity JV lacrosse team at Oviedo are here to help out and just raise money for athletics. Today we've been raking up branches, making wreaths, and helping families package up their Christmas trees.
I think the Christmas tree sales at Oviedo High School is important to the school and for many reasons. First, it helps fund programs and things for the athletics that the county can't really provide. And it's proved to be a profitable way for the school to fund things that they really need. It's got a special place in my heart, my family's heart. We're local Oviedo residents, and to see people year in and year out just does a lot for the community.
And for over a decade, Oviedo High School has played a key role in filling homes with holiday spirit. For WROR-TV, I'm Brooke Brennan reporting.
The Christmas trees are now sold out. The athletic department raised over $10,000. All the money goes toward the general fund for athletics.
And we go from the athletics office to the athletes themselves. Let's go to TJ Segers to see how our winter athletes are doing with an O-Town sports break.
Good morning, Oviedo. I'm TJ Segers here for your O-Town Sports Break. On Saturday, wrestling competed at the Deltona Duels and took home first place, winning 5-0 on the day. Justin Folk, Ken Boer, Gabe Rendon, Chris Maselli, Dylan Davis, Damisola, and Wyatt Forsberg all went undefeated. That makes for 2 consecutive first place finishes in as many weekends for the guys. On Friday night, boys soccer dropped a home game to Lake Mary 4-0. They look to pick it back up tonight at Lyman. On the other side of campus Friday night, boys basketball competed against a hometown rival Haggard, and we were there to get the highlights of the action. Oviedo's basketball team looked to keep its undefeated season alive in Friday's game against Haggerty. The Lions started off strong as junior Braden Denny made a shot, drew a foul, and converted the three-point play to give Oviedo an early 8-3 lead. Oviedo remained in the lead when the second quarter started, but senior Danny Garrett nailed a three-pointer to pull Haggerty within 1 point. Oviedo responded with a 3 of its own, as sophomore Mamouche Galloway assisted sophomore Kayamo Galloway to give them the 4-point lead. Haggerty then went on a 6-0 run to end the half with a 27-23 lead. Oviedo senior Arian Acevedo's shot was blocked by Haggerty senior Joe Conley, who took the ball and heaved a long pass to Haggerty's Danny Garrett, who finishes the play with the layup. Both teams exchanged baskets to begin the second half. Aiden Knight made a layup to bring Oviedo within 2, but a Haggerty three-pointer extended their lead to 5. Then, Oviedo was able to flip the switch offensively. A steal and score by sophomore Kayamo Galloway turned the tide for the Lions. They scored 8 unanswered points and ended their third quarter with a 42-35 lead. Oviedo would go on to dominate the fourth quarter, defeating Haggerty 56-46.
First half didn't go the way we wanted, but mentally we stayed in it and we're able to come out with a W. Every night you have an opportunity to go out and get confidence or lose confidence. I think we gained confidence tonight.
And then on Saturday, the boys had a special visitor on campus at the Hoops for Heart tournament. Coach Roy Williams from North Carolina Tar Heels was in attendance. Unfortunately for Coach Williams, Oviedo defeated Orlando Christian Prep and North Carolina commit Nasir Little 71-68. And finally, girls weightlifting has a meet tonight at Lake Brantley. That's all I have in sports. Let's go back to Leeann and Ashlyn in the studio.
Thanks, TJ. It's not uncommon for student athletes to overcome various obstacles and difficulties on the road to success.
But how debilitating those hardships are depend on the mindset of the athlete. Reporter Nevada Cullen shows us one member of the boys wrestling team who doesn't allow his genes to keep him pinned down.
Cullen O'Brien is like any typical teenager. He goes to school, spends lots of time around technology, and is a dedicated student athlete.
I started wrestling in 9th grade. It didn't have many options where at the school I was at. I had always played soccer before, so I never really thought of wrestling, but I guess it appealed to me since it's something I could do.
Wrestling is a more suitable sport for someone like Cullen. He has LHON, Leprous Hereditary Optic Neuropathy. This means that his optic nerve is dying and he is losing central vision in his eyes.
And I can only use my peripheral and it's still blurry. When I was 13, so 7th grade, I guess I just slowly started losing vision in my right eye, and then it started in my left eye too.
I talked to his dad, and I remember telling him it'd be a really good sport. Swimming and wrestling are the two best for anyone that's visually impaired. So I was happy that he wanted to do it.
Most people can't imagine going through their day without sight, but Cullen never misses a step.
My vision's good enough to where I don't think I have too much problems. I guess the first couple weeks was a little bit difficult. I'm really good at the arm bar, I guess. They call it the O'Brien bar.
Basically what's called an arm bar or chicken wing, where you hook someone's arm from on top and then you run their shoulder into their ear and circle around their head. And it's pretty painful, and he's really good at doing it.
He's now taking honors classes, he's doing well, and he's working very hard to be independent and get to where he can be on his own and finish out his high school career without somebody helping him out.
His teammates see him as a true competitor.
He's just one of the guys on the team. Everyone treats everyone the same for the most part, so there's no one notices that he's has the handicap that he does.
His main goal this season is to
get my varsity letter. I had a positive record last year, but to keep that going would be pretty good.
Cullen has and always will continue to overcome any obstacles in his way. For WROR-TV, I'm Nevada Cullen.
Before we go, our friends at the Lionsdale conducted a poll on Twitter this past week asking you what your favorite part of the holiday season was.
With the options of gifts, weather, movies, and aesthetic, you all look forward to Christmas decorations the most, with aesthetic coming in first at 39%, gifts at 30%, weather at 20%, and movies at 11%.
I'm surprised the vote was so low for movies because I personally love movies, and there are great ones coming out this holiday season.
And not just from theaters, but from our filmmaking class at Digital Line Productions as well. Let's take a sneak peek at one of their more recent short films.
I love coffee. Coffee is like the vegan meal of beverages.
Oh my god, I love all vegan.
Me too. Vegan is like the vinyl music of nourishment.
Oh my god, I love all vinyl. This right here, this is why we're friends.
Shabba.
What is it? Dear God.
And that was Kaiju King of Coffee, produced by Tanner Roberts and Parker Davidson. You can check out a number of projects from Digital Lines Productions at our YouTube channel, youtube.com/WROR-TV.
That's all we have for you today, Oviedo. Here's a sneak peek of what's coming up on tomorrow's show.
Coming up tomorrow, John D'Agato assists the boys basketball team in giving a preview to their upcoming season. And Mr. Tribus is in the studio with Student of the Week. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at WROR-TV, and for any missed announcements, follow @AttentionOHS.
We'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a great day.